Yes, what's going on, people?
Hello.
Back again, Raps on TV, live on a Tuesday night. It's been a quiet weekend of the boxing, but definitely a big one coming up. Nothing else to say, but who's out there at the moment. Great Gatsby, yo, what's going on? Appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit that like button for this show. People that are listening, tuning in on YouTube or Facebook. But it's been a busy week coming up. I think there's nothing better to say in terms of like bombshells. We're definitely going to get into the Wilder versus Fury. But I think first and foremost, just going to do a bit of a wrap up here with the co-host, the main man, Sam. How you doing, sir?
I'm all good, bro. It's been busy, man. Life.
Leave the girls alone, man. I heard you've been troubling some girls down in Catford.
Catford, you know. Couldn't even say Chelsea.
Nah, bro. None of that Chelsea business. But yeah, I think best place to start really. I mean, busy. One fight over the weekend. Obviously, we saw the Frank Warren show. Liam Williams, Nathan Gorman. Kind of nothing to massively write home about. So personally, I would like to get into the main topics. This weekend, we're seeing a huge clash, in my opinion. Probably one of the biggest fights since the pandemic. The man who calls himself the Matrix, Lomachenko, he's taking on Teofimo Lopez, one of these new young upstarters, but is coming in with a tremendous sort of like knockout fashion. It beat one of my countrymen, Richard Comey, 2 rounds. Really did a demolished job on him, coming in with a strong reputation. So I just want to come back to your thoughts, really, and just what's your thoughts on this whole Lomachenko versus Lopez? How do you see that fight playing out?
I mean, I think the stars are written for Lopez to really come and do his thing.
Yeah, okay.
He's on a high right now, man. He's been doing his thing.
Yeah.
On a huge high right now, absolutely. Like, Richard Comey. I just think fresh legs, younger, hungrier. Lomachenko, obviously, you could argue and say he's hungry because he wants to be undisputed, but I just feel there's a bit more dog about Lopez, man. I just feel I think Lomachenko isn't as invincible as people think. I've seen weaknesses, and I always talk about going back to the fight against Jorge Linares, where there were a lot of weaknesses in Lomachenko, which I didn't see in other fights. So there's chinks in his arm, man. So I think it's Lopez's time to shine. Like, even watching the blood, sweat, and tears, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, you know what? I've messed up, man. I need to catch up on that, man. There's 2 episodes, right?
Yeah. No, it's good, bro.
Are they hard? Are they tough?
Yeah. Do you know? I just think the edit, just the whole build up of this, because we haven't seen it for a while, something like that. Sometimes it's locked down. It just makes you realize. It brings you back to like the Mayweather days when you prepare for a fight and that sort of thing. So
big fights, isn't it?
Big fight. Teofimo Lopez should be there, bruv. This is for him.
I've obviously got more questions, but I mean, you've come out the bat and said, listen, you're backing Lopez to really pull up the upset. So in your opinion, what are the keys to victory for Teofimo Lopez?
Lopez just needs to be the aggressor. I think when he tries to really box, you're boxing Lomachenko at his comfort zone, and that's his bread and butter. I think if you really go for him and try and rough him up and just really just take him out, go for him, just be ruthless of it. Don't show him any respect. I think that's the big mistake that people show Lomachenko because of his pedigree and everything, and how successful he's been with such little fights and his amateur pedigree. You have this tendency to just kind of be a bit kind of starstruck by him in the ring by just showing him respect. Whereas the thing is, from Lopez, we've seen that he doesn't show people respect. Look what he did to Richard Comey, completely annihilated him. So it's gonna be very interesting. But I think the keys is just very much just being very vicious with your punches. Just basically not trying to play Loma his game, man. Just really just going for the fight and just really trying to take the life out of him, man. Youthful exuberance.
I mean, well, so on the scoreboard, we're definitely going to have a difference because I'm going with Lomachenko. And whilst, you know, I'll be honest, you know, I like Lopez. I think I've warmed to him in terms of not just his persona, but his actual fighting style. I mean, look, he's more or less a knockout artist. I just think this may be a big ask. It might be a challenge that has come a bit too soon for him. I think there's no doubt there's talent. I think he works well with his dad, who's his trainer. I think they've got a huge amount of belief, and I think that belief is sometimes transcends across to us fans. Because I'll be honest, I had doubts. I did have doubts. I was thinking, how well is Lomachenko done at 135? But I think at the end of the day, he's beat the two guys he's faced, who were naturals at that weight. So I feel probably not Linares, but yeah, definitely with Campbell. So I feel that there's a bit of a grudge in this fight. There's a bit of a grudge match. I think that's probably fair to say.
Yeah, for sure, bro. 100%.
You look at the level Lomachenko operates at in terms of his thinking ability and his ability to throw combination punches. I think that's what's that may take Lopez by surprise, because obviously this is the biggest opponent he's faced in terms of like technique and ability. I just feel Lomachenko probably should do what he's supposed to do. I think going into this, I feel to Lopez, while he is a good fighter, I feel he's more of the puncher and Lomachenko is the boxer. And I just feel Lomachenko can create those angles to work the body, make you miss, then make you pay at speed. I just have to say that, my head is kind of ruling with Lomachenko. I wouldn't be surprised if Lopez won, and people might say, oh, he's sitting on the fence. No, but I wouldn't necessarily be hugely surprised. So I think the power is going to be really interesting for Lomachenko. You've seen, as you mentioned, Linares, he got knocked down. I think if you look at Luke Campbell's game plan, he ultimately threw almost the same amount of power punches as Lomachenko, if not more. So, that was clearly within his game plan to try and utilize his power. I've got to go with Lomachenko. I just can't see, his skill set, his ability. I just don't see how he does it. And for those guys that are listening in, tune in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all our YouTube channels. Give us that. We need that support. We need that visibility. Man. Message, share this with your friends. 100%. We are looking forward to talking more boxing with the fans today. I think this is a big fight. And I mean, in terms of Lomachenko, I mean, I know you said you're picking Lopez, but for Lomachenko to maybe get this victory, what do you think he would need to do? I know you're backing Lopez, but what do you think he needs to do to get that victory?
I just think he needs to really just relax. Don't feel like he's got to prove anything in this fight. He don't get sucked into any kind of bullshit or fighting tactics or that Lopez is going to try and do. Just really box and do what he does best, really, which is just in and out, in there nicely, really nice, pretty type style of boxing. That would just, and I think Lopez hasn't experienced anything like that. And ultimately, I don't think he'll be able to handle it if, Loma gets into Loma flow, which is why I said for exuberance and energy and all the kind of things that a young upcoming fighter needs or has, he needs to really use and not try and be very passive. I think he needs to just be the aggressor from the outset, which I think would kind of strike, which will kind of shock Lomachenko, because if you look at the Jorge Linares fight, within the first 4 rounds, Jorge Linares is on his case, like really coming at him. And he could really...
That's a fight strategy with someone like Lomachenko, great feet, really quick feet as well, especially with that lateral movement. Do you think that's a strategy that would require high energy? And I think, so you feel that Lopez has got that ability? I mean, given he hasn't fought that many 12-rounders, I think he's only fought about 2, maybe 3. I need to double check. But you think that high energy is something he can sustain?
Yeah, I think he can sustain it. I think it's definitely possible. I think he showed me enough to be able to, for me to believe that he's able to sustain it. I think the longer the fight goes on, I think the more it's in Loma's favor. But ultimately, he's shown he's got punch power, and Lomachenko does have a good chin. It's not anything that I don't think Lopez can't handle. I think Lopez will be able to get up. I think Lopez, if he hits him on the button, he'll be able to drop him.
Nice. Okay, so we didn't get to that. in terms of Lopez, how does he win? In your opinion?
He's got to knock him out. I don't think he's going to outpoint Loma. Impossible.
Yeah.
He's not, as much as I'd like to say he is, but the longer the fight goes, I'm like, lose, man. You're gonna lose, bro. That's what it is. As much as he's believed, I'll be very, if he does, very impressed if he wins on points, because to be able to technically outbox someone like a Loma, I mean, this guy's special. Right now, Lopez got a lot to prove as well. People say Richard Commey was a bit of a lucky punch from God, but I just feel if he's able to do it through points, through just completely outboxing him, I'll be very surprised. Because Loma's, we all know how great, like you said about the footwork and his movement, bro. Like if he's able to withstand that, he's shown me a different, weapon to his arsenal, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you on that. I mean, it's strange, right? When you look at them, both of them, they're kind of both under 16. They're both, well, Lopez 15, Lomachenko 16 fights. It's kind of crazy when you think about, you know, how far they've really come in terms of, you know, getting to that elite level. You got to take your hat off to both of them. And I will say this, even though I'm backing Lomachenko, for Lopez, I definitely take my hat off to him, because I think none of the top guys in their prime have really chased him. You know, we've seen Rigondeaux, obviously Linares, but Linares end of his career. Luke Campbell, definitely, I think you could put him up there as well. But Lopez, you could probably say, you know, is this the fight he needed to take during the pandemic? You know, there's no fans, so the gate is what it is. You know, the pay cut, he's been able to negotiate a decent purse for this fight. But, you know, you've got to say to yourself, you know, that really, he doesn't have to take this fight. I think you look at, you know, I'm a big fan of Tank Davis.
Loma doesn't have to take this fight.
But I feel like with Loma, he wants to take on everybody, though. I feel like Loma, he's more inclined to want to take on everybody. I don't know. That's just my, and I'm not even a Loma fanboy. You know, I've been quite critical of. No, I mean, I'll be honest. I've been 100%, bro. Because for me, you know what it is with Lomachenko? I feel like my question with him is I felt he stayed in the amateurs too long, because we know what we see when we look at him. We can see that he's got the IQ, he's got the skills, you know, he's got the, you know, like the doggedness about him. Of course, he lost to Salido, but still, I just question why go on for 400 amateurs. Now, people have said to me, you know, in Ukraine, it's a revered thing. You know, you get 2 Olympic gold medals, like that's the biggest achievement. So I'm like, okay, I can take that. But you look at a lot of the guys coming through now. I mean, they don't hold on in the they don't stay on in the platform. Oh, big up, Morin Ketcho. Yes, big up. Thank you very much, man. Love to hear your opinion. Let us know your thoughts on the upcoming fights as well. Definitely like to hear from our female boxing fans as well. You guys are killing it at the moment. Lots of comments. So for me, bro, I will say with Lomachenko, I was critical of why he stayed as an amateur for so long. But I do feel whilst he's been a pro, he's not really ducked anybody, really. I think he's tried to chase the fights, you know, that are out there for him. But I think one thing people probably underestimate is that he has lost. So in Lopez wins this fight. What does he go on and do next, in your opinion?
I think it's a big step for Lopez, but ultimately Lopez and the family, he just backs himself so much. So if he's able to win and come winning in emphatic fashion, either he has the option for a rematch, which if I was him, I wouldn't take. I would generally sit on my win a little bit. I'll then analyze my team and see, look, okay, who have we got now? We've got Luke Campbell, we've got Haley, we've got Garcia. Where in that place do we go? Do you see what I'm saying? If I was him, and say if Haney beats Gamboa, if I'm being smart, getting into learning fights, I'll go for Gamboa. You know, I would actually build up my experience and go from there.
Yes, big up, Great Gatsby. Appreciate your support.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think that's a good shout, because with Haney especially, you know, I think he's taken a lot of stick, and I think rightly so, if we're being honest.
Yeah, bro. Look at the comments. The comments are going crazy last week. Like people commented on Haney and saying that one guy from the States commented. Shout out to him. He was just basically saying, you know, everybody be ducking Haney, yada yada. I'm like, I don't know. Facts of the matter is, you were emailed a belt, and you haven't defended it, and you have a big mouth. As much as I love his brand, you need to back yourself. You need to start proving yourself, because Lopez stepping up. We got Garcia. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, and we know there's talent there. We know that for sure. But I think what's good with Lopez, what he's done, in my opinion, he's kind of like set the pace for the other guys now, because all of the other fighters, in my opinion, they need to be challenging themselves at the top level now, because, you know, you look at Lopez to step in with Lomachenko. Yes, we know he's coming up from a smaller weight, but like even when he stepped up, I think most people would say he beats most people in 135, or he gives them a hell of a fight. I think the other guys now have to be looking at each other and saying, right, let's get it on. I mean, we've seen the start: Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia, but Tank Davis, Santa Cruz. I think the winner of that needs to be going for, you know, another tough test, trying to unify a belt. And 100%, I think the winner of this fight, if there isn't a rematch, which I'm not sure if there is a rematch, maybe you could tell me.
So, rematch clauses, just going through everything else with the fighters. The rematch clause with Lomachenko, Lopez, if that is the case, we don't know. I don't think so. I think someone like Teofimo Lopez and Bob Arum will probably try and negotiate out of that. I don't know if Lopez is PBC or not, if he's a freelance. I believe he's maybe top rank PBC. But if so, you've got a young guy who's got a complete future at his feet and ultimately has such a great chance to shine, you know? I don't know, people. I don't know about you, but I think Lopez has everything to gain, nothing to lose. He has absolutely such experience to gain, and Lomachenko has taken a huge risk. But ultimately, this is what we do boxing for, which is why he backed himself. He changed his purse. So for us to go forward, for us to be able to go forward, he needs to gamble and take the gamble and do what he needs to do. But yes, next kind of subject I want to bring you guys to is Fury versus Wilder 3. Now, amid reports are that contractually, Team Fury is no longer obligated to fight Deontay Wilder. Now, thing is, myself, I've heard the conspiracies and I've heard different things about what has been going on with the fight, and apparently, this is what's going on. Apparently, Great Gatsby, shout out, Lopez will spoke Loma. Okay. Talk to me about Wilder though. Lopez is top rank. Okay, then, you know, Arum's gonna invest in Lopez. So back to Wilder now. Talk to me about Wilder, people.
Yes.
Wilder, because you cut off at the right moment there, bro.
No, bro. Sorry, man.
No,
I was still yapping, thinking I was there, but yeah, it's all good. We're back now.
I just kind of moved on after we said about there's no rematch clause. It's the perfect kind of entry to talk about Wilder. It's been cancelled. So, well, allegedly cancelled.
Yeah.
Reports are that Wilder has failed to meet his contractual obligations and to be able to negotiate a fight before December. And he's been injured. He's been quiet. We don't really know what's going on with Deontay. Don't even know what state he's in. No interviews.
Yeah.
And, you know, Tyson Fury on a huge high, very vocal recently about travelers' rights and about the pubs being locked down and how he's been protesting. This guy is the king. He's the king now. He holds the belts. I personally think, bro, that he's taken, or whoever has given Wilder some step aside money. I generally feel like there's been some step aside money for this fight to go ahead. Wilder's going to fight all these other guys, all the kind of guys that's outside that three, outside three, and then he's gonna trigger that clause again to be able to fight again. I don't think Wilder's gonna. I don't think Wilder's just gonna let that fight go and just expire and run down his contract. I don't know about you, bro.
I definitely agree with you on. I don't think it's as clear cut as a lot of people are saying at the moment. I think, you know, and this is, again, it's all opinion, right? But I do feel that we've got to kind of just pump the brakes. I think clearly, you know, Tyson Fury's come out. He's made some statements, as Tyson Fury does, and he's obviously more than entitled to. So Gatsby say nah, but I just think I think there's probably an element of the contract has run out, and maybe Wilder and his team feel the best thing might be just to come back to it. You know, Wilder let Fury come out, fight in December, and then get the 2 Joshua fights done, and then him face the winner. That might be what he needs, especially if we're talking about a man that needs to, you know, work on the fundamentals a bit better. So I think that's a key case. He's saying time run. Gatsby saying time run out. Yeah, I mean there is, but I think if Wilder really wanted the fight, I don't think the time would be an issue, because again, if he said he really wanted the fight and he's coming out jumping up and down, saying no, you got to fight me, I think they go to court, and I think he has a shout. So yeah, I just feel I don't know if this is intentional. I think for me, and try to change again. Yeah, exactly. But I think also, and I think that what you're saying there is right. They wanted fans in the arena. Bob Arum wanted fans in the arena. You know, he's on numerous interviews saying they want fans in the arena. I think it's also worth noting, if you listen to the IFL interview of Bob Arum that came out today, he said that Fox and ESPN gave Fury a date for January and February, and he said he doesn't want that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of play here. I agree with Fury though. He's been too inactive. He needs to fight. So I think he should fight. So listen, we're gonna go out to the lines now. We've got a couple of callers. So definitely looking forward to hearing people's views. Let us know what you're gonna talk about. Floor is yours. We're probably gonna do a round, so I'm gonna be doing a bit of a timer here. But coming out to 297. 297, hello.
Hello, it's Uncle.
Yes, Big Uncle. How you doing?
Hello.
Alumni.
You're calling from another number.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Okay, good comment. I'm with Sam. I'm going for Teofimo Lopez to put
he made his day.
Loma's lights out. I respect Loma, but I've been seeing some change for a while, and I don't think it's as straightforward as boxer against puncher. Though Teofimo is definitely the puncher, but the thing is, Teofimo is actually an excellent boxer as well, a technical boxer. So he's got decent speed, boxing ability, and power. And I think at some stage he's going to catch Loma properly, and he's going to put his lights out. Yeah, in my view.
Okay, so that's Lopez for knockout. Yeah. Okay, we like that.
Of course, I could be wrong. We come on Monday and you're laughing at me, but I've been I've been predicting this for a while. Yeah. I think there are 2 guys who have bad news for Loma, which is both Teo and Tank. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And as for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, I think, look, if Deontay wants to carry on, if he wants to carry on his career, he needs to avoid Tyson Fury for now. In my opinion, he's not going to get any better. And firing McBrillen is a stupid move. He's the only guy in his corner who I feel is qualified. He'll have been better listening to the training McBrillen's trying to instill in him, instead of doing his own things, in my honest opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, in your mind, who would you like to see Fury fight this December? Who do you think is a credible opponent?
You know, I think it's a shame. You know, just a shame timing-wise we couldn't get Joe Joyce. Like Joe Joyce in there with him. I don't know. You don't really want a dangerous fight for him, but it needs to be dangerous enough. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe off the reverse.
Okay. I mean, yeah, there's talks that could happen, which I think is quite ironic that he would get a shot at the WBC before Dillian Whyte.
I mean, the irony is that Dillian Whyte could have been having this fight had he not got knocked out.
Yeah, 100%. That's a fantastic point. That's the real big irony. So
I mean, look, we need to give a shout out to the promoters. Sometimes they get lots of slack, but some decent fights, even in the lockdown with COVID. Yeah, you know, some decent fights are being made. I mean, I'm watering my lips at my man Errol Spence against my other man.
With fans as well.
I hear
Uncle,
that.
what do you make of the fans? Fans going to be back in December.
I'm wondering whether I should get on the plane to go watch that.
No worries.
COVID or not.
So listen, Uncle, we're going to have to move on. We've got a few callers. We're keeping it to one round today. But I appreciate your support as always.
Thank you, Uncle.
And yeah, keep doing the thing and keep supporting us. Thank you very much. Thanks. So we're going out to 252. 252s. I think you're a new caller. Hello.
What's good, guys? It's a wrap. It's Ring Raps on TV.
Yes. What's going on,
bro? What's happening? You good?
That's the collabo. What's on your mind, brother?
Guys, it's a wrap. If we're gonna do a show called It's a Wrap, mate.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Let's make it happen. What's on your mind, bro? So,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. What's on your mind? What's your thoughts?
You know what? By the way, you've got to see the second episode of Blood, Sweat and Tears. I'm going to be honest, yeah. I love Teofimo, but I rate Loma, right? It's the old lion, young lion metaphor, the master, the pupil, etc., etc. But if you watch that second episode, I don't know how good they edited it or what, but there definitely seems to be some cracks with the Teofimo senior and junior bond, man. I think it's fair to say they haven't got the father-trainer-son balance right. And I don't want to give away too much, but he kind of gets emotional in the episode. Like, I'm talking serious emotion.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, I'll be honest, I was thinking potential KO for Teo or Loma Masterclass. Now, I'm even thinking, unless he's asked them to edit it a certain way to like suck Loma in, which I don't think that's too far-fetched. I'm thinking he's going to get too emotional in the fight.
Okay.
I'll be honest, man. I really hope I'm wrong, but he's 23. And you know, by the way, just to comment on the beef situation, the alleged beef, you know, the beef was started with his dad, not him, right?
Yeah.
His dad tried to confront Loma in the lobby after one of the fights, and his dad was apparently a bit juiced. Yeah. This all transpires in the episode, but I'd heard this anyway. I've interviewed his dad before. His dad's a maniac in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Like his dad's, that's me a mano, but he's a nutcase. So I don't know, man. A bit like how Chris Eubank Sr. was a bit too much of a mouthpiece for Junior before. I can see similarities, man, and I don't like it. I'm being honest. I know we haven't mentioned one bit about boxing yet, but you guys have spoke a lot of technical stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to shed another light on it. I'll be honest. I think Teofimo's too emotional in this fight.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're picking Lomachenko now? You're leaning more towards a Lomachenko victory.
I'm gonna be honest, yeah. Anyone that knows me, I'm not really a big gambler, right? Like, I do very boring kind of like stock market calculated betting, but I'm betting massive on this fight for Loma.
Wow.
Massive. For me, what I call massive is a couple of £100.
Yeah. But
I'm flinging it on Loma.
Balling.
And I'm looking at this now, right? By the way, I'm not an advocate of gambling because I know a few people have got problems with that. But if you're a sensible person, the smart money for value might be for the fight not to go the distance. particular situation, but I don't know, man. You know, I just rewatched about the Nakatani fight with Lopez, right?
Yeah.
And obviously styles make fights. And Nakatani was too tall and big for him. But Nakatani weren't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Lopez was the aggressor. Start to finish, there might have been 1 or 2 rounds. You could have said Nakatani got the better of him. Teofimo's strong, bro. Like he's the strongest out there.
Yeah.
But forget Tank. Tank's a hype job to me. Tank hits hard in sparring, but when it comes to when you put them two together, we'll see a real pitbull fight. But I'm telling you, Teofimo is the most athletic fighter in the game.
Okay.
In the game.
Wow.
But what I'm saying is, I think he's going to rely too much on that. Whether that's him instinctively or it's his father who's just drilled it into him. Because I saw his dad doing analyzing on Loma, right? And he did it for dramatic effect. I'm not trying to take too much out of the documentary, but he shut the laptop after like 1 minute. Now, I've seen enough. I'm like, you've seen enough of Loma? They're like, oh, he always does the same thing. Oh, I was at the Luke Campbell fight. Admittedly, it was a bit boring. First 6, 7, it was a chess match. Now, he didn't get Luke Campbell out of there, but let's be honest, Luke Campbell was hanging on for dear life. Let's be totally honest.
So, and listen, ring raps. We're loving the breakdown, but because it's a big show, we've got a few callers. It's 3 minutes. It's 1 round per call. So I'm just going to ask you the last question. So Lomachenko, you're saying Lomachenko.
Bro, I'm saying more than that. I'm saying against my heart. I'm saying he might TKO him late.
Okay, all right. No, we got that noted. Listen, ring raps. Appreciate you supporting. Definitely. Let's chat on the Insta. Do a collaboration. We're going to do a follow-up show on Sunday. So everyone listening, we're going to do a follow-up show on Sunday to kind of review the fight. Yeah, so we're going to chat to you via Insta, but I appreciate you calling in.
Good work, guys.
All right, cheers. Thank you very much.
Let's bro.
Oh, hold on. Ring raps.
Yo.
Yeah, shout out your handle. What's your handle? Let the listeners know where they can find you and follow you. At Ring Raps One. And that's raps like raps on TV, yeah?
Exactly the same, bro.
Perfect. Respect.
Cool.
Thank you.
Let's bro.
Respect. Yeah, man, we've got to give out the fellow boxing Mia. We've got to give them a bit extra time. 737, we're coming out to you. Hello.
What's good, people? What's good? Good show as always.
Yes. How's it going? It's been a minute. Can you hear us?
You know what,
yeah.
I'm just listening to Ring Raps there talking about Teofimo Lopez and Loma. Obviously, that's the talk of the town right now.
Yeah.
And you guys, Raps, you know me already. I've always been Loma all the way.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with Loma all the way. I just can't see. I'm like, nothing. Like far too many tools in that tool bag for young Teofimo.
Yeah.
Far too many tools. And I just think he's going to show levels come Saturday night or the early hours of Sunday morning. I think we have microwave memories. I think we're all looking at the Richard Coleman performance and going, oh my God, because Richard Coleman stood in the pocket.
Yeah.
Nakatani didn't stand in the pocket. I think we saw how that fight played out a bit for Teofimo.
Yeah.
I just expect Loma just to run through the gears there. He's not 38, he's not 39. This is a guy that's been beaten up in his last few fights. I just expect him to show levels, and I think we'll see those levels. I think he'll give away the first couple of rounds, just like him and Usyk do. There's this weird thing they do where they're almost like downloading information.
Yeah.
And just, looking at the first 2 rounds, like just sizing them up a little bit, going to the body, playing about, showing angles, and then I just expect him just to run through the gears. Because this guy, we're talking 400 plus amateur fight, only lost once. We're talking obviously a good professional career. He's seen Teofimo's before. He's seen so many Teofimo guys with big muscles and strength and all. He's seen all that. I don't think a Teofimo has seen a Loma before. And it's always, I don't even know how you get sparring for Loma. Where do you find that? Yeah. And I just see Teofimo doing well, and credit to him. But in the end, I just see Loma showing why he is, I think, going to be an all-time great.
Yeah.
Ads, let me. What's good, bro? Let me hit you with a question now. I know you said Teofimo's never seen a Loma, but what does Lopez have to do to be able to beat Loma in your eyes?
I think we saw it in his second fight against Salido, where he almost got roughed up a bit, right? He got roughed up by the bigger guy. The bigger guy just almost put on him for pretty much the whole fight. And Loma couldn't kind of do what Loma does, which is like create spaces and almost them fancy angles that Loma does. You've got to put it on him for 12 rounds. I just don't see someone with that. I don't see Lopez being the guy with that gas tank in order to continually do that. Almost like a Maidana or an old school Margarito. You just put it on and put it on and put it on. That's difficult to do. We've seen Loma being able to do it for 12 solid rounds and throw punches and bunches. And if Lopez can keep that rate up and keep the gas tank up, then he's got a chance. But I don't think it's a case of Lopez catching Loma with a punch. I mean, Loma can punch as well. You know, I think people forget that as well. That Lopez can punch. It might not be as concussive as Lopez, but he can punch. So I think Lopez has got to be careful to punch as well. But I just feel like in the end, it's just come a bit early. Credit to him, but I just feel like inexperience might hold key here. The Comey fight, yes, everyone ticks the box, but it was over so early. I would have preferred him to go to war with Comey for a bit longer. He landed, and that was it. And I just feel like inexperience might kind of be the downfall here.
And listen, Addy, last point I've got to make before we move on, or last question for you. But big up everything that you've been doing, that Sky Sports talk,
bro.
Move. Really
great,
loving listening to that. The Wilder versus Fury, we're saying it's cancelled. What's your take on that?
It's a strange one, yeah. Personally, I feel like I feel that they've looked at a date. Obviously, the no dates were there because of NFL and college football. Everything is really condensed now in America because they're trying to just squeeze so much in. And let's not forget, boxing can only happen one day a week. That's Saturday. You've got to look at a Saturday that's available, and if it's not available, you've got to move on to the next one. They're competing against NFL. They just finished competing against the NBA. They're competing against UFC. I honestly think they've just said, okay, look, we can do it behind closed doors, but everyone has to take a haircut. Everyone has to take 40% of the money they were going to get. And Wilder's like, I ain't fighting that monster for 40% less. You can move on. And I think I think it's more been postponed than cancelled. I just think they didn't want to take the reduction in money, because it would have been a reduction in money. Everyone's taking less money right now. And I think Al Heyman, Team Wilder are like, no, we're not taking 40% less. Because that's what they would have taken. Because it wouldn't do good numbers on the feud, and there is no game. So I think that's the issue.
Perfect. Listen, Addy, thank you very much.
Man.
Shout out your handles.
Fantastic show, man.
No, thank you.
IG is Ade Oladipo. Follow me, please. Boxing Talk with Ade. But well done to both of you. Honestly, I'm listening in. Fantastic caller so far, and I'm going to stay tuned for the rest.
Thank you very much, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Appreciate that as always. Now moving out to our resident, Mr. Appiah 985. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Apps, what's going on?
Oh no, can you hear us?
Hello.
All right. 985. We're gonna have to move on. Daniel, stay on the line. We're gonna come back to you. 041. The floor is yours. Hello. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, it's Tito. I'm calling from Bexley.
Yes. How you doing, Tito?
Tito, how you doing? The Nigerian brother.
Yeah. What's on your mind, bro?
I'm calling. I'll talk about the Lomachenko Teofimo fight. I don't know. Initially, because of how quality Lomachenko is, even though I've always believed that Lomachenko is levels above everyone. I don't really see anyone else beating him. And even though I also think Teofimo's quality, I think he's taking the fight way too early. I think, and even looking at his record, apart from Nakatani and Comey, and I think, no offense to all his other people he's fought against, I think he struggled a bit against Nakatani, but like they said, like Nakatani was tall and he had like a longer reach, and I think Comey stood in front of him, and I think Comey is obviously his most impressive win. But no, I'm not so sure, because looking at Lomachenko's fight with what's his name, with Linares. Linares doesn't have crazy good footwork like that. We saw Lomachenko dropped, and we saw him touched a few times. And we know that Teofimo has power, but I think it's going to be a much. I think, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a closer fight than. I think there's be a closer fight, but I see Lomachenko kind of edging it. And Lomachenko does have power, so he can crack. Okay. He can crack, but
no, that's a great point. I mean, like all these things, Tito, it's an opinion, right? So
it's an opinion.
That's fine. I think Sam's got a question for you while I take some water and clear my throat.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for calling in as always. Talk to me. What do you make of Deontay Wilder and Fury cancellation? Do you think Wilder's taking side money?
I think he's taking what? What type of side money?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Wilder wants to fight him again. I really don't think. Because the first fight,
yeah,
I think everyone feels that Fury won that fight because I only gave what's it called? I only gave Wilder 2 rounds. Yeah. Fury dropped twice or twice.
Twice, yeah.
I only gave Wilder only won 2 rounds in that fight, and then in the second fight, he got absolutely battered. And I think that I just don't think he's mentally. I don't think he's scared.
Mm-hmm.
But after the second fight, like Wilder had so many different excuses. There was the thing with the gloves. There was the thing with his walkout costume and this and that.
Sure.
And then even the fact that what's the name of his trainer? Even the fact I think he's done a really bad job at firing his trainer. I forget his name. Because I think that's the only guy. And I think his trainer did the guy.
Yeah.
Because that was one hell of a beating, and I don't think he sees it that way.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, this.
I think it's more of the same that happens. Maybe even worse this time if they fight again.
I mean,
that's what I think.
Yeah. No. Thank you very much, Caesar. Listen, appreciate you calling in. Please be sure to like and share.
Like, share, subscribe, bro. Listen, we're gonna have a show on Sunday. We're gonna shout you Sunday. Hopefully, we can catch up with you then and talk about your predictions. But your guy and Lomachenko win, just to be clear, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Lomachenko. Yeah.
Cool. All right, bro. All right, stay easy. Speak to you soon.
Yeah? Moving on to 783. 783. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, man? It's MK. I'm calling from Enfield.
Nice.
What's up, MK? What are you saying, bro? I loved your comments on the page last.
I'm good, bro. Yeah, comments. It's a pleasure to be on the show, man.
Perfect.
So when I got the message, of course.
Yeah.
When it comes to flipping Richard Comey, to be honest, he's not really world level. Remember, yeah, he lost to Easter.
You're breaking my heart.
Close fight, and then he won a vacant title. He didn't beat a champion.
Yeah.
So he just about made it to world level. I'm not knocking him, but he's just like fringe. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's not like a bona fide champion.
Yeah.
So people knocking him out like that, and people saying, "Wow, he knocked out Teofimo, he knocked out Comey, so he can do." Brother, you can't compare Richard Comey to Lomachenko.
I agree with you on that.
Serious.
You can't, brother. I hear you. You can't compare Richard Comey to Lomachenko, but Lomachenko is invincible, bro. Lomachenko is not invincible.
No, he's not invincible. He's not invincible. How I see the fight going, I see Lomachenko winning because Lomachenko struggles with 2 types of fighters. Yeah, he struggles with guys which are taller than him, rangy, and he struggles with sluggers. Teofimo ain't none of them. I see Teofimo dropping him, but I don't see. I see Teofimo dropping Lomachenko late, but I see Lomachenko winning the fight. Lomachenko, towards his fight, he tends to kind of lose focus around like 9th, 8th round. He kind of gets hurt or something happens, something dramatic happens. So I see Teofimo dropping him late, but I see Lomachenko, it's kind of reminiscent of Canelo and Mayweather. He's just too young, bro. No one under 25 years old is beating Lomachenko. It's not happening.
Okay. So you got Lomachenko points or Lomachenko stopping?
Yeah, I got Lomachenko on my points. I prefer Teofimo, and I feel like a lot isn't going to hurt his career. Like,
that's a great point.
Him losing to Lomachenko will probably make him a better fighter overall.
Trust.
All of them,
but
I don't see him beating Lomachenko because Lomachenko isn't. Teofimo he's got good punch power, but he plants his feet. If you have power, you need to plant your feet.
Yeah.
So Lomachenko is not going to have a problem with someone that plants their feet, unless you're going to make it a dirty dog fight like Salido. But to be that type of fighter, that's got to be your genetics, bro. If you're a slugger, you're a slugger, innit?
Yeah.
Like Maidana was born like that. Yeah. You're not going to make a Maidana for a fight. He's born like that. So I don't see him stopping with Teofimo. Maybe I see Teofimo dropping him, maybe a flash knockdown, but I don't see him winning. But I prefer Teofimo over Lomachenko. I I find Lomachenko boring.
Yeah. Okay. And last point before we move on to the next caller: Wilder versus Fury, or Fury versus Wilder. Looks like it's being cancelled, postponed. It's not happening in December. What's your thoughts on that overall? And who would you like to see Fury face in December?
I think that's the best thing for Wilder's career. I think Wilder's a hack job. Just chat so much shit. He's like that bully that got fucked up. Oh, I'm not saying. I'm even half myself.
Yeah. You're calm, bro. Yeah.
He's like that bully that just gets deflated. Like his whole boxing, his whole boxing style is based on psychological warfare. It gets in your head.
Okay.
And that's done now because you've been beaten. It's finished.
Yeah.
So no one is scared of you. I don't think people are going to be scared of him the same way because the way Fury moved to him was just crazy. And who don't want to see Fury fight? Really and truly, you just want to see Fury and Joshua, innit?
Yeah.
Dillian, he's a bit of a joker because he dug his own grave. He chose that Povetkin fight. He didn't need that fight. He could have fought a bum and just stayed busy. But he wanted to do the maximum violence thing and the, warrior. And now he's got his bloody career in his hands, bro. If he loses this fight, bloody hell.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If he loses this rematch, it's a wrap.
I hear that, man. Listen, MK, we're going to have to move on to the next caller, but thank you very much for the support. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And look out for the Sunday show where we're going to do a review of the Lomachenko versus Lopez. I appreciate that, brother.
Big up, man.
Big up, man. I'm going to go to Mr. Appiah, 985. Can you hear us? Oh, we can't. I think we're going to have to move on. Going out to 644. 644, hello. Long time, how you doing?
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear that. Is that Inam?
Yes, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, big man?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. So, Coach, you say you saw Sam in a house fight in Catford at the start of the show?
Yeah, I did, man.
Oh, Sam, man, you know that guy that's been that guy from Apprentices story, are you?
No. Come on, I'm on the straight and narrow, bro. Don't mind Kojo.
He's one of the four.
Man, I knew it. Anyway, guys, onto the boxing.
Yeah.
I think Loma might get smoked.
Okay.
By Lopez.
Here we go.
Yeah, and the reason I think this is as follows, but I think it's going to happen later on. Yeah. 8, 9, 10th round. Yeah. Reason being, yes, Lomachenko is phenomenal. He's a master tactician. Brilliant. Yes, he had the 400 amateur fights. We've only lost 2, and both of them, he thought the guys are going to beat them, right? Completely agree with Kojo Singh, where people gas him up too much. Yeah. When you've had 400 fights, you come into this as a grown man, right? You obviously have to step up quick. You're like, look how old is he now? What, 32, 33?
Yeah.
If he was going down the normal prospects route, he'd be like 35, 36 when he gets his first opportunity. Yeah? So I don't buy into that, right? There's too many of these homosexuals, yeah, like gassing this guy up too much.
What did you say? What did you call it?
Homosexuals. I call them homosexuals.
Okay.
The fanboys. Yeah? So the reason he's going to get smoked, yeah, is because I looked at a couple of things. The previous guys say Lopez isn't a slugger, yeah? And I don't think you need to be a slugger, yeah? You need to be someone who's got power and stuff like that. He struggled against Cejudo, right? Linares had him down, right? So yeah, there are going to be a couple of factors that you will need to do someone like him. You're going to have to be athletic. If you look at his fight with Rigondo, right, you can see, right, Lomachenko is very athletic in his own right, but he's also got that very, very high ring IQ. Yeah. Now, to be able to meet that, right, to match that, you're going to have to be athletic, right? And one thing about Lopez is he's incredibly athletic, right? So I'm giving the edge on that. Number 2, he's got the power. That's without question, right? Number 3, he's got age on his side, side now as well. Lomachenko is coming down on the other side there. I was there at the old two with Campbell. It was a 12-run fight. He completely outboxed Luke Campbell, but then Luke Campbell did well in that fight, right? And I think Lopez is a couple of levels above Luke Campbell. So I think as the fight goes on, as they both get more and more tired, yeah, that's when I think Lopez will come out and knock out Lomachenko. So Lopez late in the fight.
Okay. Nice. Just last point before we move on to the next caller. The Wilder versus Fury looks like it's cancelled / postponed. Who do you want to see Fury fight in this December?
This December, well, I would like him to fight someone like Wright before. Obviously, the main fight is Joshua. It's not going to happen. They're going to take a low-risk fight, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to take a low-risk fight. But I'd like him to fight someone like, well, Wright can't fight Wright for Povetkin. But it's going to have to be someone like that kind of level, you know, to keep anyone interested, you know. Even Luis Ortiz, that would be a good fight.
Yeah. Fair Jagba?
Sorry, say that again?
Fair Jagba? The heavyweight? The Nigerian?
I think a Jagba is like too green, man. Like, I don't think he's at that level to get a world title chance yet.
Yeah, I think that would be way too early.
I just think it's too green, man. You just fight someone like Fury now.
Yeah, no, I have to agree.
A few years before he gets that kind of level, we should be competing for a world title challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would agree. So listen, now we move on to the next call. But I appreciate your support as always, and then look forward for the show on Sunday. We're going to do a review show of the fight. So yeah, it'd be good to hear you. Cheers. Thank you. Moving on to 488.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Deja.
Yes. How you doing,
What's
Dave?
happening, Dave? You good?
You're a busy man.
Yeah. Really busy. Sam, how are you, coach? You all good?
We're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
Good, man.
Talk to us. We know you're looking forward to this fight. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, finally. I've told you on WhatsApp as well, I'm going to be going for Lomachenko as a points win as well. I mean, just look at his record though. Do you remember Nicholas Walters, 26-0 when he fought him, and he just completely polarized him? Yeah. Linares, Crawler. Okay, he was an old Crawler. Luke Campbell, Regondo. He was a smaller man, but these are names, aren't they? Gary Russell Jr. as well.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is it's pedigree, isn't it? And it's about the names he's faced in 14 fights already. I think he's got Lopez's number, to be fair. And one of your previous callers compared it to like when Canelo took Mayweather when he was a bit too young, a bit too green, a bit too fresh around the ears, and look what happened there. Doesn't make Canelo a bad fighter. If anything, with a bit more experience, it's just not his time. That's just my opinion. I think the names on Lomachenko's record so far, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that will just elevate him, and I think he'll just win this fight on points, to be fair. I think he'll nullify him.
Yeah.
Power doesn't win fights all the time, does it?
Yeah.
No, I hear that. I understand what you're saying, but I think power doesn't win. Like I said earlier on the show, that it's everything for Lopez to gain, whether it's a win or loss. He's got so much to gain. He's 23, and it's so much more for Loma to lose. And even when I heard even the rumors back then when Loma was willing to lower his purse to give Lopez the opportunity, I thought in my head, that's great, noble for you, shows you want to fight people. But at the same time, what are you doing? But he's got something which Loma wants, which is the belt, and his plan is to become undisputed. So, ultimately, if Lopez was to win, though, Dave, what would Lopez need to do?
I mean, I've got my mind so fixated on Lomachenko winning the high-tech matrix. He's gonna have to bully him up somehow and rough him up early and just completely take the fight out of him, take his legs out, not fight dirty, but literally just put it on him from the moment Bell wants to strike. And no respect. So not like when Kovalev fought Bernard Hopkins, showed him too much respect, could have took him out of there, but he still won the fight. But just paid him too much respect. But this just take away his fight and really bully him up and there, rough him up and treat him like he would treat anyone else, to be fair, and not get starstruck. That's the only way I can stop. I can't win it. I mean, I just want to see a good fight as well. I mean, if he does win by KO, fair play, and if he wins by points, fair play as well. But I just can't see it, I'm afraid.
Okay. No, fair point. And last point, we're asking everybody. Wilder versus Fury looks like that's not happening this year. who would you like to see Fury fight in December?
Sorry, Joe Joyce and Dubois getting it on. Joe Parker's getting it on with Junior Farr. Joshua won't. That's not ready yet. He's got Pulev, Dillian White, Povetkin. All the sort of big players are out, to be fair. But if obviously you want the Joshua versus Fury fight, but maybe a Tony Yoka or something like that.
Well, that's a good shot, actually.
That'd be interesting.
He just beat
because he's got pedigree.
Yeah, and he just beat I want to say he just stopped Hellenius. Was it? No, Duhaupas. What am I talking about? Hellenius. Johan Duhaupas. He just stopped him about 2-3 weeks ago in the first round. So actually, that could be interesting. I know he was with Top Rank. I'm not sure who he's signed with now, though. But yeah,
that'll be a really interesting one, guys. But just keep up the good work. It's a really good one today.
Thank you.
Let's see everyone's predictions come through.
Exactly. Yeah. So we definitely. So Dave, as always, do you want to just shout out your handle so people know where they can watch your work?
Yeah.
Yep. So follow the Boxing Voice guys and have a look on Punch Out Boxing on Facebook as well.
Perfect.
Much appreciated.
No worries, brother. Always good to speak to you as well. Take care.
Likewise. Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
We're gonna go try again to our resident, Mr. Appiah, alumni. Let him have the last word. How you doing?
Oi.
You all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'm good.
Good. What's your thoughts on the boxing that's taking place?
All good as usual. Everything is just beautiful with the sport during these tough times. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about Nathan Goran.
Okay.
Your opinion on how good you think he is and where he can go in boxing. I just want to know, your opinion of it, of his fight on the weekend.
Sam, you want to take it?
Okay. Yeah, no, bro. Great question, actually. Gorman's got some talent, bro. He's good. I need to see a bit more. I think since the Dubois fight, I think Dubois just outdogged him in terms of just the ability.
Dan, I'm just going to be muting you because of your background now, but carry on, Sam. I'll come back.
Yeah, Dubois, I think Dubois, since he outdogged him, I think that's the first time I really saw Nathan Gorman on the scene. And I think at the moment he's fighting leftovers, from being quite frank, from Dubois. I mean, I forgot the Ghanaian, the ginger part. Yeah, exactly. I thought he was going to show Gorman some stuff, but Gorman took him out. So I just want to see a bit more. I just want to see Gorman be a bit more technical. You know, he's got the Fury name or the relation and the ties because that's his cousin or first cousin or whatever. But I just want to see a bit more from him. I think he sells tickets, from what I've heard. Heard he's got quite a big following. So it's just, you know, that triangle where you get a talented fighter but can't sell tickets or isn't exciting. Well, Gorman's exciting and he sells tickets. I just need to know what the talent bit is. You know, that's that. Once I see that, then I'll be convinced. But I think he can. I think domestically he could do pretty okay, but in terms of European level, I think he might struggle there. But let's see. This is down to the matchmaking of Warren now. I want to see him in there. I want to see him in there with the Dave Allen. I want to see him slow. I want to see him fight the Lucas Browns. I want to see him go with these guys to see. Okay, so he's just a bit past European level and then take it from there. But he's got the potential to. It's just whether he wants it. You know.
Yeah. So Dan, coming back out to you. What did you make of that, Dan?
I was just I saw a little bit of fight with Larty, and I was interested in what David Haye was saying about it. He was saying that he feels he's a good fighter and he can go quite far in boxing, but it's just his diet and that he's got to sort out and sort of be a bit more committed and. Himself,
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know how you got felt about that, and if he could mix it with the boys at the top.
Yeah.
You know, if he could mix it with the Furies and the Wilders, and obviously the guys at the top, if he could ever get to that level. But obviously, I don't think Sam thinks he can.
Yeah. And Dan, just moving on to Loma versus Lopez, what's your prediction for that fight this weekend?
I'm going to have to go for my man Lomachenko to put on a masterclass. Yeah, that's all I can see really.
Yeah.
A Lomachenko masterclass, gentlemen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. Listen, Dan, thank you very much for your support as always. We're going to move on and let you crack on. But yeah, look forward to the wrap-up show, which will be discussing the fight after it's happened. But I appreciate the support as always.
All right, cheers.
Bless up, bro.
Bless up.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Cheers. Yeah, so I think, Sam, let's quickly run through the outstanding action. I think that was a good batch of callers.
Yeah, man. Intelligent boxers, man. Intelligent boxing fans, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we like to see. Some great opinions. Definitely, I've got to check out the behind. What do you call it? The Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I've got to check that out.
Oh, bro, you got to watch it.
Yeah.
When you watch it, I'm gonna call and be like, bro, what the?
Okay, yeah. I'm on that. So let's quickly run through some other stuff. One thing I wanted to put the picture, but your uncle mentioned it. Spence versus Garcia. That's taking place. We know that there's going to be the fans for that. And last week or on the weekend, Spence uploaded the picture of him and his face. That's mad, right? Because that was almost a year now, man.
This is what I'm saying. I remember we were trying to talk to PBC and they weren't answering us or talking to anybody at all. You know, now we see how serious it really was. And very fortunate, man. I'm very fortunate. We're not saying rest in peace. It's been a year today, so a new breath of life. He's another miracle man now. Looking forward to seeing him come back in December against Garcia, and hopefully Garcia can fine tune some little mistakes he's made in the past to see if he can come with an average Spence. Hopefully, an average Spence comes to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a great point. And moving on, one fight of the weekend, we saw the Williams win. I think he demolished his guy in one round after he took a cut. I think that was a great performance from him. Do think we need to see that Andrade fight. However, Andrade seems to have his he's got his beeline for Billy Joe Saunders, which again I wouldn't mind that fight. I think between Billy Joe Saunders and Andrade, they just need to step up and fight elite competition. I think if you're Liam Williams, you went in there and did the job you needed to do. So I think he can't really say anything too bad. One other guy I do want to give big up, Emmanuel Navarrete. I mean, this guy, again, stole a belt. I'm not going to say it, but he beat my guy, a Ghanaian countryman, Isaac Dogbe, beat him twice. Took the belt from him and then gave him a rematch, beat him then. Since then, he's gone on to have numerous knockouts. Stepped up to featherweight over on the weekend, got another knockout. And this guy is super dangerous. I mean, you look at his record, we're talking levels when it comes to KOs. But on top of that, it was a unanimous decision. He got the knockdown. But I think on top of that, the key thing for me is he called out Josh Warrington, and I think that will be a cracking fight, especially if we start talking about styles. I think when you say styles fight, him versus Warrington would be huge. Should Warrington take this fight now? Yes, because there's an option to unify, but at the same time, I could probably see why he wouldn't, because you say to yourself, like, this guy's very dangerous. Is there going to be the reward financially for him? Unlikely. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a huge fight should they ever get that fight going. Super feather. And, I think that would be feather. Yeah, I think that would be huge if they could get it on. But we move on. Sam, before we crack on and move on, last words from yourself. What's on your mind?
Yeah, bro. Last words for myself is I've been watching this quite close, and shout out to Uncle T's boxing as well, because I've been watching some of his kind of analysis on what's been going on in the world of the welterweights in the UK. And you know, Chris Kongo, again, his name's being mentioned. His name's being mentioned by Conor Benn. Conor Benn's mentioning his name. These guys are building up a fight and talking, and then boom. There's an announcement today that Conor Benn's fighting. What's his name now? Formella, and he was the guy that just got knocked out by Sean Porter. And for me, this is a big jump. When I saw Eddie tweet, fair play for taking this fight before it was announced. It's a huge fight. Maybe he knows something about Formella that we don't, but you know, that's a big step, big jump and step of opponent for someone like Conor Benn. I would have preferred to see him fight maybe Chris Kongo all the guys he calls out, all the guys he talks about. But I don't think Conor Benn wants that smoke. As much as I love the brand of Conor Benn, I need to be impartial and just be quite critical as well and see that I just haven't seen that technical level of ability to be able to get to that level, the top level he's talking about and bigging himself up to be. What do you think, bro? What do you think of it?
No, for sure. Yeah, my thoughts. I think it's a good fight. I think Conor Benn, he does need to show something. He's got to show that he's here in it for the long haul in terms of not just riding on his dad's name. I would have liked to have seen maybe one of the more domestic opponents that they line up, but I don't see them putting him in with Congo. Obviously, Kelly's he's got a date for Avanesian. So I think look, if and I will say I don't think it's as big a step up as you're saying, but I will hold my hands up and say, look, if he beats this guy, then I think it bodes well, because for me, this guy wasn't really in the fight with Porter. Porter showed the levels anyway. But for Ben, I think most people think he just operates at Southern area, maybe British, English champion. I think if he can beat this type of opponent, I think whilst that welterweight division is stacked, I think it gives him a better shout at maybe trying to get, I'm going to say, a title fight or, or fight for an eliminator. It gives him a better shout if he can beat this guy convincingly. So, yeah, no, really looking forward to it. So, yeah, I think on that note, we're going to definitely sign out. Love to everybody that called in. Just wanted to say, guys, you can now watch all of listen to all of our shows on Spotify. You can definitely watch the rerun of this show on Facebook and YouTube. Go to YouTube. Please give us a like and subscribe. We're trying to get the show out there. Not even a new channel, but we're two guys definitely got the best in our minds for boxing. So yeah, definitely please continue to show that support. Everyone that's been supporting us so far, big yourself up. iTunes, Spotify. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing our thing, and looking forward to this fights this weekend. The predictions have been made. Yeah, Sam is going Lopez. I'm going Lomachenko, and on Sunday we're gonna see who. What's the forfeit? The loser has to bring in what? I like brandy. Bring me a bottle of brandy on Sunday, bro.
Yeah, I've got one lined up for you, but I'm gonna be drinking it because. By the way, I like tequila, bro.
Yeah, you caught on.
Copy Patron.
I hear you, man. But listen, again, respect, and we're gonna speak to you guys soon. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the support as always. And where am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Yes, well, yes, we're out, man.